What's up, beautiful people? It's your girl Tynisha coming to you again. How are you doing? Good. I'm glad. I really, really am. I'm coming to you because you know what? You're going to have to make a decision. And you're going to have to be okay with that decision. Tynisha, what are you talking about? You're always talking about something. What are you talking about? Well, tonight I had to sever an 8-year contract that I have held with a company. So with this company, our agreement was that for 10 hours each week, I would provide a service. So, and it's at $30 an hour. So that's $300 per week for this one particular contract. So that's about $1,200 a month for this one contract. So the individual in who I was in this contract with, he sold his company to another individual. And so under this contract, there was a new person with whom I am now in contract. And it seems like for the last couple months that those 10 hours that we had contracted to became 5 hours. So my question was, and it would fluctuate. It would be 5, maybe sometimes it would be 7. So then it wasn't the regular $1,200 per month for this contract that I was used to. So, I let it go on for a couple weeks and, I didn't say too much, but I would say something from time to time and it wouldn't change. So the 10 hours didn't reappear. So it was still like 5 here, 7 there. And so in some instances, I have to travel to the location to perform the service. And that location is about 30 minutes away and then 30 minutes having to come home. And then if it's $30 an hour, then that's 2 hours when it should be 1 divided by 2. So it's only like $15 an hour. And that's way below my contracted rate. So to make a long story short, tonight I had to give this contractor back their key. I had to give this contractor back their supplies. It just is not working anymore. And I've come to the conclusion that when I get to a point in a relationship, in a business situationship, in any kind of interaction to where it's no longer working for me, then I have to make a decision. And I have to make an executive decision, and I have to be comfortable with that decision. There was a point in time in which in life I would have to make decisions, and I was either afraid of making the decision because I was afraid of who I was going to hurt. I was afraid of who wouldn't like me. I was afraid of who I would inconvenience. All the while I was suffering and I was not having my needs met, and I was not my maximum satisfaction in the situation was not being reached. All the while the other individual was enjoying the benefits, enjoying whatever was coming out because their needs were still being met, but my needs were not being met. So this is what I encourage you going into 2020. By no means am I saying become a selfish individual. But what I am saying is this, it is important for you to take into consideration, what are your needs? If your needs are $1,200 a month for the contract, and that contract then becomes $700, $600, $800, when you've calculated into your budget that it would be $1,200, then you have to make some changes. You have to have either a discussion with that individual and say, hey, it's not working because you're not living up to your end of the bargain, or you have to remove yourself and go put yourself somewhere else. And that's just what it is. And sometimes we stay in places too long, and we stay in relationships too long, and we stay with business situations too long instead of cutting our losses and moving on to the next situation and moving on to the next opportunity. So, in what I do, there's several opportunities. I can pick up whatever periodical. I could pick up, go online. There's so many opportunities with which I do that I can enter into a contract with another individual who would probably have more hours, more pay. And then on top of that, I can always do it myself. Like, I don't have to contract with anyone to do what I do as a a service and because I'm a business owner. Okay. So there's a couple different things that I do in my business. So with that being what it is, it's nothing for me to get brochures and to, go out and secure more clients personally, as opposed to contracting myself to someone else. So with that being what it is, you have to make a decision at some point in time. Am I going to continue to be in a relationship that's hurting me and making me unhappy? Am I going to continue to be friends with an individual who is jealous and is not pouring into me and is always asking me for money and is never contributing to the friendship? I'm always the one giving the ride. I'm always the one who's paying to go out. Are you going to continue to allow yourself to be in that situation? Am I going to continue to be around a person who's jealous? Am I going to continue to be around a person who doesn't love me and they're tolerating me or they're using me? Am I going to continue to be around a person who's manipulative and they think I don't see it when in fact I do see it? Are you going to continue to allow these types of people to be in your life? Or are you going to make an executive decision and cut your losses and find someone else to be a friend to, find someone else to be romantically involved with, find another business to work with or contract with, find another opportunity to grasp other than the one that's in front of you? And I think a lot of times we stay stuck and we stay stagnant in situations that we should have cut loose a long time ago. But because of fear of what they will think, fear of what will happen, fear of the unknown, fear of what could possibly happen on the next go around, fear of a similar looking situation, just fear just keeps us in a grip, and it keeps us just stuck. It's almost like quicksand. It's like we can't move forward, we can't move back, we can just only go down, if you understand what I'm saying. And that's what fear has the ability to do, and that's what fear often does. But at some point in time, you'll get so tired. My mother used to say it like this. She said, you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. So, you have to say to yourself, hey, look, I want better. I want more, and I'm going to get it. So tonight, to be honest, I walked away from a $1,200 contract, but it was no longer $1,200. The value of it had decreased because the other individual was not supplying what they had agreed to supply up until this point. So I had to make an executive decision and walk away. Give them back everything that they had given me. And now at this point in time, and I'm not worried about it by any means, because in February, I have another contract that's starting anyway. So I'm not really worried about it. I'm not worried about it at all, to be honest. But I'm just coming to share this is what's going on in my life currently, so that you can kind of have some faith and have some understanding of your situation and say, you know what? All right, this is not working. So I have to do something different. You have to either go search for another position. You have to go and cut your losses in the relationship. You have to say to yourself, hey, this person just does not want to do right. This person just does not want to abide by what I'm saying and what I'm asking and what I'm requiring. So I have to take it upon myself to position myself to where I am happy and I'm satisfied, and the agreement that I'm in is one that I can live with. Too many people are living below their means. And by that, what I mean is you want to be here, right? Whatever here is, wherever here is, but you keep accepting things that are subpar, below, underneath where you want to be. And then you stay there for the sake of someone else's feelings, for the sake of someone else's mental well-being, for the sake of someone else's happiness, all the while you're miserable. That doesn't make sense. And that's not fair to you. And you have to take it upon yourself to say, you know what? I'm going to be fair to me. I'm not saying be evil to someone, to people. I'm not saying, be domineering, just you're going to rule with the iron fist. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is be fair to yourself. Be fair to yourself. Your happiness matters. Your well-being matters. What you would like in a situation to happen matters. So don't keep putting yourself at a disadvantage in all these areas just for the sake of someone else. That doesn't make sense to me. That does not make sense to me, especially in business and in relationships. I don't understand why I should be miserable for the sake of you to be happy. No, ma'am. No, sir. We should both be happy in this relationship. We should both want to be here. And if we don't want to be here, then we need to make a decision on what we need to do, on how we need to get us both to wanting to be here, or how one of us needs to go about their way. Period. I turned 41 this year, and I have no time and I have no desire to play games or to go back and forth about really any situation, especially relationships and especially business. I'm very, adamant about my business. I'm very adamant that things run smoothly. I'm very adamant about things being correct. I'm very adamant about things flowing properly to where all individuals mutually benefit, not to where I just over benefit everyone and I'm all concerned about what happens for me. No, I'm concerned about everyone involved in the situation. But I'm not going to be at a disadvantage just for the sake of having an individual be at an advantage just because. No, it doesn't work like that. No, it doesn't work like that. So I just encourage you that wherever you are in your life, whether it be you're working at a job that you really don't want to be at, that you hate, you despise, get online and start looking for a new job. Please, because you may be one of those people who work at those fast food restaurants who don't like their job and they treat the customers like crap. And I'm one of those people who come through the drive-thru and you treat me like crap because you don't like your job. See, you can't do that to everyone because some people ain't been delivered and they will cuss you out, or they might come through the drive-thru window on you and then, you laid up in the hospital somewhere. So get a new job if you don't like your job. If your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your husband, husband and wife, that's kind of tricky, but if your boyfriend or your girlfriend is not treating you right and they're doing all these different crazy things that are not right, they're talking to you crazy, they're treating you crazy, they're treating you mean, they're wanting to fight you, all this other stuff, they're wanting to do all of that, get you a new boyfriend or girlfriend. Get out of that situation. There's nothing holding you there but you. And sometimes people are, I don't want to hear any excuses, ma'am. I don't want to hear any excuses, sir. It's time for you to do something different. 2020 is coming. And with it's very, very prophetic. 2020 means seeing clearly. I think up until this point, people have been in a fog. People have not been wise. People have been confused. People have not understood what is going on. But there is a sense of clarity that is coming to so many people. There's a sense of clarity that is already here for so many people. And they see what it is that they want out of life. They see who they are to be. They see what their next direction is, their destiny. They see it now. And so now they are required to put one foot in front of one another and then to also build that platform and build that project and build that life and build that relationship. And it requires you to know what you want and to know what you don't want and to know what you will put up with and what you won't put up with. And if you don't know those things, then therein lies the problem. And you need to stop blaming the other individual for not making you happy when you've not even understood what will make you happy. Stop letting everyone else hold that in their hand. Your happiness, your joy, your peace, your I'm all right when this person does this. No, that's too much control. You're allowing too much control to be given to another individual. When in actuality, your happiness, your joy, your contentment, it lies a great percentage within you. A great percentage within you. When you decide, all right, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. Period. That's it. I don't like that. And you don't have to apologize for not liking it. I don't want to see that. You don't have to apologize for not wanting to see that. I don't want to hear that. You don't have to apologize for not wanting to hear that. You don't. And if they can't abide, then you just remove yourself. And when you start removing yourself from situations and people start saying, oh, well, she's not coming around like she used to, or she's not talking to me like she used to, or she's not dealing with me like she used to, then they'll understand. Because you've already made it clear, hey, I don't like that. But then when they don't comply, then they're making a decision for you. The fact that you won't comply with what I'm asking, all right, so what you're saying is you don't want me to come around. You don't respect my time, my energy, my presence enough to refrain from whatever it is to have me around. Well, thank you. You made a decision for both of us. And that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. You made it easier for me. That's one less thing on my list of things to do. That's one less thing on my list of things to do. So I just encourage you that if you're facing a decision today, go ahead and make the decision. Make the decision and be happy with that decision. Okay? So this has been your girl Tynisha giving you a big hug from afar and a little bit of advice. And until next time, love you. Bye.